Welcome to Codebusters 7, and this booklet will go over the letters J, O, and C. Parental interaction is essential in this series, especially when your child says the letter names and their sounds. We'll have more information for parents near the end of this video. Now let's open up to the front and side cover. Here you'll see a few extra fonts that are different from what you might have seen in the previous Codebusters booklets. It's important to remember that whenever you see any type of tracing or guidance that you need to write that letter to complete the booklet. Now let's start with our first letter. Let's read the directions at the top. Repeat each letter name and its sound after your teacher 3 times. This is the lowercase letter J. Its name is J. Its sound is J, as in jump. J, 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 J. And now we can write our lowercase letter J. This is the uppercase letter J. Its name is also J. Its sound is also J, as in jump. J, 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 J. And now we can write our uppercase letter J. Now let's go on to the next activity. Say the name and sound or beginning sound of each letter or picture. You can ask for help if you're not sure what the picture is. Trace each letter or circle the picture. Let's start with this first one. The name of this letter is J. Its sound is J. And now we can write our lowercase letter J. This is a picture of jeans. The beginning sound of that word is J. And now we can circle the jeans. This is a picture of jump. The beginning sound is J. And now circle it. This is a jungle. The beginning sound is J. And now we can circle it. This is juggle. The beginning sound is J. And now circle. This is jam. The beginning sound is J. And then circle. This is jacket. The beginning sound is J. And now you can circle it. Now let's go on to the next letter. Repeat each letter name and its sound after your teacher 3 times. This is the lowercase letter O. Its name is O. Its sound is ah, as in octopus. O, 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 ah, ah, ah. And now we can write our lowercase letter O. This is the uppercase letter O. Its name is also O. Its sound is also ah, as in octopus. O, 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 ah, ah, ah. And now we can write our uppercase letter O. Now let's go on to the next activity. Say the name and sound or beginning sound of each letter or picture. You can ask for help if you're not sure what the picture is. Trace each letter or circle the picture. This is the letter O. Its sound is ah. And now we can write our lowercase letter O. This is a picture of off. The beginning sound is ah. And now we can circle it. This is an octopus. The beginning sound is ah. And now we can circle it. This is an otter. The beginning sound is ah. And now we can circle it. This is an ox. The beginning sound is ah. And now you can circle it. This is a picture of on. The beginning sound is ah. And now you can circle it. This is an ostrich. The beginning sound is ah. And now you can circle the ostrich. And then our last letter will start now. Repeat each letter name and its sound after your teacher 3 times. This is the lowercase letter C. Its name is C. Its sound is k, as in cat. C, 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 k, k, k. And now we can write our lowercase letter C. This is the uppercase letter C. Its name is also C. Its sound is also k, as in cat. And now we're going to say the letter name and its sound 3 times. C, 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 k, k, k. And now we can write our uppercase letter C. Now we'll go on to the next part of this page. Say the name and sound or beginning sound of each letter or picture. You can ask for help if you're not sure what the picture is. Trace each letter or circle the picture. Let's start with this first one. This is the letter C. Its sound is K. And now we can write our lowercase letter c. This is a cat. Its beginning sound is K. And now we can circle it. This is a car. The beginning sound is K. And now you can circle it. This is a cop. The beginning sound is K. And now we can circle it. This is a cut. The beginning sound is K. And now we can circle it. This is a camel. The beginning sound is K. And now we can circle it. And this last one is a cactus. The beginning sound is K. And now we can circle it. Now we'll go over all the new blending you'll see in this booklet. Remember, the directions are as follows. Say the sound of each letter separately, then blend the sounds together. So let's jump right into it. J, ah, j, ah, jaw. Now we'll go on to the next one. Ah, j, aj, aj. K, ah, k, ah, ka. Ah, k, ak, ak. J, a, j, a, ja. A, j, aj, aj. J, I, j, I, j. I, j, ij, ij. K, a, k, a, ka. A, k, ak, ak. Ik, ik, ik. Remember, when you're blending these together, it's important to read the sounds. Don't add any letters to the beginning or the end of these blends. We want you to read these two letters together. Now for the parents. Remember, parental interaction is essential in this series, especially when your child says the letter names and their sounds. If you open up your child's booklet to the front and side cover, you'll see that we've added a few more fonts that are new compared to the previous booklets in Codebusters. It's important for your child to still write every letter that has any guidance or tracing provided. However, if you don't see any guidance or tracing, your child does not need to complete that tracing or that writing of the letter. It is good practice for your child to write these letters, so if you have time, have your child do it so they can hone in on their fine motor skills. And lastly, there is a story at the end of this booklet, and we'll go over more at the end of this section about the importance of reading with your student. Now let's jump into the booklet. We have some new activities that are not found in the previous booklets that we'll go over now. This is one of the activities, and this one, we want your child to recognize and circle the letter for the ending sound of the picture. So in this instance, the word is mouse. Now we've been asking your student to identify the beginning sound of a lot of vocabulary throughout this series, but now we want to make sure that they can identify and isolate the ending sound. So make sure that you really emphasize the ending sound of the vocabulary word, mouse. And so if you are ever unsure what the vocabulary word is, it will be provided to you on the left. The other new activity is going to be rhyming. Rhyming is a very good activity for students to start practicing if they haven't already. So let's go over these two together. When your child is unaware of what it means to rhyme, it's important to emphasize that the rhyming word is going to have a similar ending sound or sounds. So a good way to start out is to just overemphasize that ending sound to your student. So if we're working on the first one, our given word is ham. Notice that this is a written word. We want to make sure that you do this activity with your student because they probably will not be able to read that word yet. But let's go through the possible answer choices and see which one has a rhyming ending sound. So we have ham cut, ham, jam, ham, otter. So which one, as if you were working with your student, has the ending sound that is similar to ham? Ham, cut, ham, jam, ham, otter. Hopefully your child can easily identify jam as the rhyming sound. But if not, practice with them on your own and say, okay, ham rhymes with jam. What else does it rhyme with? Ham and yam? And just give them more examples of rhyming words. That should help them really understand what it means to rhyme. The next one is going to be for pop. And here we've thrown a little bit of a curveball. So we have pop, cop, pop, ox, which has a similar vowel but has a different ending sound. So you want to really emphasize that ending sound when you get to ox. So pop, ox. And then you have pop, juggle. Hopefully your student can identify pop, cop as the rhyming words. This may take some students a couple of tries to really understand, but once they get it, it'll be really easy for them to do this activity. The last thing I'm going to point out in this is our review activity. So this activity is a good way to ensure that your child is retaining the information that they've learned throughout this whole series. So let's go through the directions really quickly. Say the name of each letter, have your child go as fast as he can. Then have your student say the sound of each letter going as fast as he can. Lastly, you'll have your student write the letters. And this is just to make sure that they really get what they've learned so far. And then the last thing we're going to go over is the story. At the bottom of every fourth page, you will be prompted to read a story with your student. You can use the story in the back of the book, which uses the vocabulary taught throughout this series, or if your child has a favorite book or something else from the library that they want to read, that's fine as well. But for now, I'm going to have us jump to the back inside cover where we have our story. It should look something like this. The directions are at the top. Let's read this story. Follow my finger underneath each word as I read it. Repeat this story as many times as you desire. And then we have a fun activity for your child to find all 5 cactuses. So it's important when you're reading through this story with your student to follow along with your finger. And this goes for anything you're reading with your student. So make sure that they can correlate the sounds that you're saying and the words that they're saying. So make sure you're doing just that. The last thing we'll go over is that when we have your student blend, we're using short vowels, not long vowels. So we'll go over those really quickly. A is going to say a as in apple. I will say I as in igloo. And O will say ah as in octopus. So be sure your child is using these short vowels so that they are doing the blending properly. If you have any questions over this book or anything else about Gideon, please contact the owner of your center.